So we are on our 6th video. They have been less than 10 minutes, generally around 5 minutes. And we have 5 of them so far. This is number 6. And I think that we are getting pretty spoon-like. Just a couple little things to do and a couple more decisions to make. So based on that, I don't think that 5 times 6 is 30. I don't think we have an hour going from our original blank to this. And this has been just one. I always consider this a little bit of a cheat. When I get it deep enough here, I generally will take my knife and thin the edge. Rather than take the whole thing down. You know, I think there are some concerns about going too deep or poking holes in it. So far, I don't think that has ever happened to me in the last 10 or 15 years of fooling around with this stuff. Doing a cut like this, I really ought to have my glove on both hands. What's next is for me, and it's blasphemy for some people, but I sand it. And we'll do as much as we can in the next couple minutes to get rid of a lot of the knife marks that are here. But I start with 80 grit until it is nice and smooth. And we'll find all kinds of scratches from 80 grit. And so I move on to 120 and then 200 grit. And by the time we get done with 200 grit, it might as well be polished. And then we'll use some of our wax to finish it off. I'm certainly not going to put you through watching me sand, but I'll come back after we're sanded, maybe when we just get to the 220 is the grit, not 200. And usually, we don't include it with the kit. Usually you can get a pack of sandpaper at most hardware stores that contains 80, 150, and 220 grit sandpaper. You know, we can just leave this flat the way it is. Most of these will take it down pretty well with the sandpaper. Sometimes I put a little ball end on. Sometimes I do a little owl on the end. And that might be for a different time and maybe its own video. There are some pretty standard beginning carving projects. There's a 5-minute owl and a 15-minute Santa or something like that, who's also known as a green man or a mountain man. But incorporating them into the end of the handle sometimes is a fun thing. But I think for now, we will have spent less than an hour carving this spoon in real time. And we'll move on to sanding next. And I do appreciate everyone who has stopped in. And I think if you have any questions on the kit, I think there are answers here. But also, I'm absolutely wide open to emails. And I'm butternutspooncarver@gmail.com. And I don't always pay particular attention to that email, but I am on Etsy several times a day. And Gmail might get checked once every week or two. But anyway, thank you for this. I will see you after some sanding, and we will use our wax. Have a happy new year.